Welcome, everyone. It is nice to have you here. I'm going to bring us into our service this afternoon with some music, right? I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. I am grateful, grateful for this day, for the love we share, the life we make, and I give thanks for all the many ways that the love of God appears. Yes, the love of God is here.
Thank you, Penelope, and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. I'm Reverend Jean. My pronouns are they, she, and her, and I am so glad that all of you are with us today. If you're viewing on Facebook or YouTube Live, please like and share this broadcast so we can continue to spread the good news of New Thought out into the world. Yes? All right. I'm going to go through the affirmation. I'm going to read it all the way through, and then I'm going to invite all of you to say it with me. All right. Today, I am filled with joy and awe at the magnificent diversity of life showing up in living color. For I know Spirit is at the center of all things. So therefore, I boldly move through life knowing that I am an intricate part of Spirit's divine inclusivity. And so it is, yes? All right, let's do this together. Today, I am filled with joy and awe at the magnificent diversity of life showing up in living color. For I know Spirit is at the center of all things. So therefore, I boldly move through life knowing that I am an intricate part of Spirit's divine inclusivity. And so it is. If you are visiting for the first time, please make sure you see a welcome ambassador in the lobby for a gift, especially for you. And now, Mally with the announcements.
Thanks, Reverend Jean. Ooh, they left me a laptop. Hello, all my home-run metaphysicians. I'm Mally Lapete. My pronouns are she and her, and I gladly serve on the creative arts team here at SLCA. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're so happy that you chose to spend time with us. Make yourself known in the online chat or out in the lobby, and be sure and introduce yourself to a welcome team member. We have so many good opportunities, well, they're great, to connect, grow, serve, give. For more information about today's announcements and other opportunities, please scan a QR code found on your monitor. Let's get to it. Adult study is growing, and we want to be sure that you join us on Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. This SLCA practitioner-led class explores the science of mind magazine and is a wonderful way to connect with community as you grow in this teaching. Check out our website today and register for the Zoom link. Visioning is vital to the sustainability of SLCA, so join SLCA practitioner, Reverend Nana. Practitioner, Nana, Efishinashi Nana. Next Sunday, during all our 5 o'clock hour, as she leads our community in A Vision for SLCA. I might mess up her name, but you will never mistake her. She's so powerful and lovely. This will take place every second Sunday, and we would love for you to join us. Reverend Jean invites you to join her every second Sunday during our 5 o'clock hour and discover the basic ideas of the science of mind. This is a perfect refresher class for members and is especially designed to help newcomers understand the basic principles of the science of mind and spirit philosophy. You will learn how to use these principles to enhance your personal well-being and live a more freeing and fulfilled life. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to visiting with you after the service in the social hall down the hall for food and fellowship. Just a reminder that our menu has changed. The first Sunday today will always be potluck. The second and fourth Sundays will always be cakes and coffee. And the third Sunday will always be a full meal. Please be sure to speak to at least 2 people you have not met yet, including me. You belong.
Let's prepare for our prayer. Take a deep breath. Open your mind. Unfold your heart. Relax your senses. Feel every part. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound. Breathe every breath. Release your cringe. Love without waiting. Slowly unhinge. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound. Unbound.
I know that I am one with the one that created everything with no exception. That divine feel of intelligence that is ever saying yes. So I have nothing to fear. When something comes up, I am one with that intelligence, and something within me knows and knows that it knows. And so I can get still and listen, not to the ego self, not to the thoughts that run through my head, but to my deepest part. And I am guided, I am led, and sometimes even feel like I'm pushed to do the right thing for that moment. There is nothing to fear. And when I doubt, I just simply have to go within for a moment and remember that the core of me is like solid steel in the knowing, the unbending knowing of the truth of my being. I just get quiet. And when it's not possible in the midst of cacophony to get quiet, I just allow myself a moment and know that what I need to know is known, what I need to see is seen, what I need to do is done. It is clear as writing on the wall, and the wall is within my heart. And so I know that whatever comes my way, I can handle it. I turn away from the circumstances of this world, from thoughts of fear, warmongering, prejudice, lack, and I go to the place that makes the facts of this world. I am not ignorant of what's going on in this world, and I do my part that I feel in my heart that I am led to do, to help with the world's situations, to uplift. And part of that uplifting is standing here right now praying, and that all within the sound of my voice are uplifted. Every person hears something they need to hear, even if they don't realize it at the moment. And so knowing I am one with the one, I know that things are getting better and better in my life as I choose to stay aligned. And if I get out of alignment for a moment, something brings me back, a friend, an article, something I hear on the radio or television. I am always in Theos, in God, enthused by life. Knowing this is so, and I know it for every person who hears these words or reads them. It is already so. And so I'm thankful for this because it has gone into the immutable law and it is creating right now and becoming more evident every moment. So I simply say namaste, aloha, shalom, blessed be, amen. And if you care to join, and so it is.
You can stop waiting for love to find you. Look inside your heart. Love's already who you are. So lift up your voice. Let it be heard. Tell me your story, tell it to me. Don't leave out a word. 'Cause I think I have been there too, and I'm a seeker just like you. You ain't got a thing to fear. Looks like love is growing here. So take your guard and let it down. Go deeper still until you come unwound, unbound.
Lighting the flames of faith. A call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence which we call Spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We recognize the candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We recognize the candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of the primal spirituality. We recognize the candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion, We recognize the candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We recognize the candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We recognize the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We recognize the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We recognize the candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We recognize the candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we recognize the healing candle, please put silently in the light the name of anyone you wish to experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
So meditative, so soothing. Now is our time for grateful giving. And I just want to thank everyone who is a pledger. I want to thank everyone that gives, all of our friends, all the ones out there online. Thank you. Thank you for supporting this ministry. For the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta is indeed its community. We are SLCA. And there's so many ways that you can give. You can text to Tide at 404-800-9467. You can give online at slca.com/donations, or you can scan the QR code here on the monitor that you also find on your screen. Or you can also become a pledger like myself and pledge automatically. Your donations will come out either your account or your credit card at whatever increment that you might like. But however you give, please know that we are indeed truly grateful to each and every one of you. So now join me as we say our grateful giving affirmation. All together, please. I live in the universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Thank you. Let's just please go forth.
I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Please join me by extending your hands as we bless these offerings, knowing that Spirit lives, moves, and has its being in each and every person that has given today and continues to give to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We know that these blessings are going forth to do good work out into the world through our ministry, through our outreach, through each and every person here. And we are grateful, and so it is. All right, here I am. You got one? Okay, good.
I wanted to share with you guys this beautiful song by Steve Winwood, the mystic Steve Winwood, right? So listen to this. Songs choose me. I don't really choose the repertoire. I give in to letting Spirit and God show me what is needed. And in this song, I read it again this morning. I was like, really? And, going through it over the week. Think about it. There must be higher love, down in the heart or hidden in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, I'll look inside mine. And then he goes on to say, things look so bad everywhere. So he moves into that place of just being without Spirit. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? So allow yourself to visit both of those places of our mind, because we sometimes go there, right? Yes? And then, because I love the refrain, bring me a higher love. Right? We are all that higher love, but we want to fill that. And so I'm going to lean into you and let you be my drummer, because this track, it opens with percussion. But as you see, it's just me and my percussion instrument right here. Right? So I'm going to lean into you, invite you to do some clapping and singing along as we go. Think about it. There must be higher love down in the heart, in the stars above. Without it, life is wasted time. Look inside your heart, I'll look inside mine. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? You sound good when we walk blind, but we try to see, falling behind. What can be? You feel like singing? Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a higher love. Higher love. I'm thinking of world's turning, and we're just hanging on, facing our fears, standing out here alone. A yearning, and it's real to me. There must be someone who's feeling for me. Things look so bad everywhere. In this whole world, what is fair? Hang in there. We walk blind, we try to see, falling behind what could be. Bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, yeah. Bring me a higher love. I could rise above on a higher love. I will wait for it. I'm not too late for it. Until then, I'll sing my song to cheer the day along. I could light the night up with my soul on fire. I can make the sun shine from pure desire. Let me see that love come over me. Let me feel how strong it could be. Oh, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Oh, bring me a high in love, I'm thinking of. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, thank you, Penelope. Thank you. Good afternoon again, everyone. If you're just joining us, I'm Reverend Jean Bell. Reverend David is feeling a little under the weather, so you got me. All right, and I'm like, I don't have anything prepared. So I remembered that it snowed in January on the 12th, and I was scheduled to talk, and we had Ice Day. And so I never gave you this talk. So I didn't have to stay up until midnight trying to figure out what to say. I'm so happy about that. All right, so you know this month's theme is in living color. And how many of you remember that comedy series with the Winings, Living Color? Some of you had the opportunity to experience that probably every week. I did not. I lived in Germany at the time. So people back then used to have VHS. Was it VHS? And they would mail it to you. And I was like, oh, I get reruns, yay. So every now and again, I would get a VHS in living color. And I thought that was the greatest thing. It was a lot of diversity of people and of dancers and music and skits and comedians. I loved it. And when I thought about this theme, I also thought about the fact that how beautiful spirit shows up in creation in living color. I was looking at National Geographic because I am a nerd. And I love National Geographic because I love animals and places and things. And the colors in nature, the birds, are amazing. So I got some statistics for you. There are about 11,000 species of birds in the world. But another stat was there's 20,000. So they don't know. Right? They lost count. There's about 30,000 different species of fish. And there's over 73,000 species of trees. And I'm not going to bore you with all the other stats that I got, but I just want to let you know that diversity is live and well on planet Earth, okay, for sure. Absolutely. And you know, just looking into the infinite diversity keeps me totally in awe with the creative force of spirit and its ever-givingness of life and variety. I'm just in awe, and I walk around in awe a lot when I see things, especially in nature. And because we're in the science of mind philosophy, we know intellectually that we are a part of Spirit's divine intelligence. We know that. And we know that we have infinite possibilities always available to us. However, our finite minds sometimes cannot fathom the fact that we have these infinite possibilities. So my talk title is Living the Way. It's just to help remind us of the way infinite spirit works through us and through all creation through the law of mind. A lot of times I get frustrated with individuals that tell me that things are not working for them. They are doing the meditation, they're doing their treatment, they're doing their affirmations, and what I have found, like I said last time, is it's not consistent. If you're not consistent at anything, you do not get better at it. You do not come into connection with it. Now, Charles Fillmore, he was the co-founder of Unity, and he tells us in a book titled Prosperity, this is the law of mind. The principle is within each one of us, but we must be spiritually quickened in life and in understanding before we can successfully work in accord with it. Quickened, that's an old word. We don't use quicken anymore. It means to stir up, to arouse, to stimulate. And we must understand the role we have in the working of the law of mind. Now, science has always recognized a government of law. of invisible principles encompassing the world of effect. We too, as practitioners, and I'm not just talking about licensed practitioners, I'm talking about anyone that is in this philosophy is a practitioner. We recognize the universal law as a definite spiritual and scientific principle, which we can use into moving into alignment of our own true nature. Fillmore also told us that words are also like seeds. And I like to add that words and feelings with intention are like seeds. And when dropped into the invisible spiritual substance, which we in this philosophy call the science of mind, they grow and bring forth after their kind. They grow and bring forth after their kind. And I remember back in January, Reverend Dr. David said that God's nature is our nature. And he wonderfully reminded us that God is not separate from all that there is. He added that the universal law of God is always responsive to our consciousness, to our predominant thought patterns. That the creative intelligence of God is the same intelligence that is in you. That it is the way Spirit works in and through us. So God's Spirit, the one absolute consciousness that is the causative power of all creation, expresses itself as all form. And it is always and ever seeking to express itself fully and wholly through you. Spirit is omniscience, infinite intelligence, loving, creative, and omnipotence. It is not just within each person, it is at the core of our being. This core, this essence within means that we have access to all the intelligence, wisdom, creativity, and power that we could ever want or need. Now, our founder, Ernest Holmes, he said, and he posed the question, if we possess the divine nature of spirit, why then is humanity weak, poor, and afraid? For it is a belief in separation from God which binds and limits. We are bound by nothing except by belief. Holmes tells us that the thing then works for us by working through us and is us always. It cannot work for us in any other way. And I love this quote. It says, it spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us from every angle. But it can become power to us only when we recognize it as power. Therefore, our belief sets the limit to our demonstration of principle, which of itself is without limit. It is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. So it is not a question of its willingness, nor its ability. It's entirely a question of our own receptivity. So the way it works is in and through our predominant thought patterns, the things that we have come to believe that is true for and about ourselves. And we can monitor that by just checking in on what we're thinking about at any point in time during the day. What are we meditating on? What is going on as a running tape, disc, CD in our brain? What is going on? So you see, if we believe in separation from spirit, then anything that we desire to be, to do, and to have is subject to our belief. And we can't get any further or past that. It can only correspond to our state of consciousness and our predominant thought patterns. So some say, well, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be poor or afraid. I want to have a more joyous life, a more abundant life. How do I use these spiritual principles and make them work for me? in order to spiritually grow and understand how to use the law, we have to come to a new understanding of self and the world so we can have new experiences. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's a neuroscientist, a chiropractor, and author, and he said in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Ourselves, he says your past shortfalls can be traced at their root to one major oversight. You haven't committed yourself to living by the truth that your thoughts have consequences so great that they create your reality. When I read that, I jumped. I'm telling you, I jumped so high. I was like, that's it. If you haven't committed yourself that your thoughts have consequences in creating the actual reality of your life, what are we doing here? He said, think about it. If you really knew that this principle were true, would you ever miss a day in intentionally creating your desired destiny? Would you? But do we do that? Do we take the time every day in intentionally creating our desired destiny? Holmes said it this way: if we know that the power which is if we know that the power with which we are dealing is principle and not personality, if we know and believe that mind is the only actor, cause, effect, substance, intelligence, truth, and power that there is, if we have a real embodiment of this truth, then we can demonstrate. Then and only then do we demonstrate the things that we wish to be, to do, and to have in our lives. One of the reasons we have a hard time believing that God's nature of creativity, power, and principle is also our nature is because society has taught a scientific system of duality thanks to Descartes and Newton, which basically purported that the universe was controlled by a predictable physical laws and all things were solid. How many people believe that now? For we know that energy was merely not just a force to move things around, but energy and vibration is the essence of life. We are on a subatomic level energy, and it's our vibratory field that is cast out into the universe and brings back to us just that vibration. Dispenza tells us that the work of Descartes and Newton established a mindset of a reality operating only by mechanistic principles and that all reality was predetermined. It is no wonder humanity has struggled with the idea of our thoughts actually mattering in our lives. In fact, so many people are under the belief that we're merely victims of external circumstances, not recognizing that it is done unto us as we believe. Or we could say it's done unto us as we vibrate. What are you vibrating out? What are you actually intending every day? Do you catch yourself like, okay, I'll give you an example. I took my neighbor to the doctor, and on the way back home, they said, I only have the opportunity to shop on the weekends. And last weekend, it about killed me. And she said it again. Yep, it was killing me. All those places I had to go. I went to 5 different places. It was killing me. She said it the 4th time. I said, stop saying that. If you don't stop saying that, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. Right? And she's not into new thoughts, so I couldn't tell her that your words matter. Your words are so important. Everything that you say about yourself is being broadcast out onto the universe, onto the subjective law of your very mind. Right? And she was like, well, it did. I said, no, it didn't. You're still here. But if you keep saying that, I don't know. Girl, hi, stop. Right? So we, fortunately for us, we live in an age where quantum physics is actually proving what we have known for millennia in new thought. Quantum physics knows that that energy is the very fabric of all things material and is responsive to consciousness, that which we put our intention on. Einstein was able to turn the entire scientific world upside down with his equation, E equals mc squared, which shows that energy and matter are interchangeable. Yet metaphysicians have known this forever, and we see now that science and at least new thought religions have finally caught up with one another. So let us consider this. The entire physical universe, everything, all of it made up of subatomic particles like electrons, neutrons, quarks. It even goes further down than that. Exist as pure potential. They are in a wave state when they're not being observed, when no one is paying attention to them. That means that particles are literally infinite possibilities, pure potential. They're everything and no thing until they are observed. They exist everywhere and nowhere until they are observed, which means everything in our physical reality exists as pure potential. Now, Dispenza tells us that if subatomic particles can exist in an infinite number of possible places simultaneously, we are potentially capable of collapsing into existence an infinite number of possible realities. In other words, if you can imagine a future in your life based on any one of your personal desires, that reality already exists as a possibility in the quantum field, waiting to be observed by you. This means that the quantum field contains a reality in which you are healthy, wealthy, and happy, and possess all of the qualities and capacities of an idolized self that hold in your thoughts. So you can ask, how do I use these spiritual principles to make that work for me? Well, you know, I'm always saying practice, practice, practice. That's one way. The way it works is through our universal law of mind. Now, one of the things I realized is that the science of mind philosophy has a lot of jargon. And if you're new to this philosophy, and even if you're not new to this philosophy, sometimes it just sounds like, wah, 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 right? Universal law of mind, what does that mean, right? Well, one of my favorite old school metaphysicians, Joseph Murphy, he breaks it down and talks about how we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Psychologists understands that, and our subconscious mind is connected to the universal law. As in the macrocosm, that law, we operate it in the microcosm through our subjective mind. And whatever you impress upon your subjective mind is connected to that universal law, and it brings it forth into manifestation. Does that make sense? All right, so that jargon is cleared up. And this law responds to our habitual thinking, not just any random thought. And it shapes our lived experience according to the sum total of our thoughts, ideas, beliefs, and opinions. There isn't a single perfect thought to hold. Rather, it's crucial to become aware of the thoughts we are having and recognize their impact on our reality. It is our vibratory output, because of what you hold to be true in your life will impact your reality. Understanding this connection is key to grasping spirit or universal mind and how it works for us. Often we engage with universal law reactively, allowing our beliefs and thoughts to be shaped by circumstances. How many times have we cussed somebody out? And I know you have. In traffic. You've called them everything but a child of God. I have trained myself to bless them. It's hard sometimes. I'm like, oh, bless you for cutting me off today. Be safe, why don't you? Oh, you know, or if somebody scares you, you know, you just want to. But, you know, it takes practice not to do that. It takes practice not to react. It takes so much dedication to being centered and bringing yourself constantly back into alignment. Trust me, I know it's hard. Because before this philosophy, I was in the Army. And we learned, there's a course in the Army called cursing. Literally, you learn how to curse in the Army. And you learn how to curse really good. You can go up one side and down the other, and yeah. So I had to redirect my mouth a lot, a whole lot. And then I entered the corporate world, and I realized, well, I shouldn't curse here, huh? I shouldn't call my boss the things that are running through my mind right now. I don't think that's going to work out. So it took time for me to retrain myself. And then when I came into this philosophy and I started letting go of some of the anger that I had in me, you know, or my reactionary ways of being, right, I realized that I had to go in a little bit more, maybe a little bit more meditation, maybe a couple of more affirmations, maybe just don't say anything at all. So if we consciously choose the predominant thoughts and beliefs we have in mind, rather than merely reacting to external events, what then? What then will happen? You see, by shifting from a reactive mindset to one of intentionality, we can and could profoundly transform our lives. This shift in awareness allows us to align more closely with the creative power that is within us, leading to a life where we consciously cultivate the experience and outcomes we desire. You know, we've been working with this law all of our life, right? We just may not necessarily have been aware of it. This is not a new truth, but the awareness of this truth might be new to us. The law of life is always in motion, responding to our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs. We impress upon it every day, whether we do it consciously or unconsciously. You see, by making space within ourselves to become more aware of how we influence this law, we open the door to powerful life shifts. This awareness isn't about judging or rejecting parts of ourselves, but about creating a safe space, a kind space, where we can embrace all that moves in and through us. So if you had a potty mouth like me, you don't condemn that potty mouth. You become aware of it, and then you move into ways of changing it and to growing into something different, more loving, more kind. Observation is the first key in any change. What are you observing about yourself? And with that being said, I want to leave you with this quote. What I know to be true about myself right now is. So during the week, on your phone, right, ask yourself that question. And whatever comes to mind, write it down. Don't filter it. What I know to be true about myself right now is. And if you don't like it, write it down anyway. If you do like it, embrace it. Hold on to it. But see, this is the way that we can have an opportunity as a spiritual practice to become more aware of not only what is true about ourselves right now, but what we're thinking right here and right now. And if what we're thinking right here and right now is not in alignment with our highest and best, this is the opportunity for us to make that shift and change. Yes? All right, practitioners, please come forth. These practitioners have gone through training to learn how to use the science of mind principles, how to use spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer. Please avail yourself to them after service if you need prayer. For this is what I know. I know that there's a power in the universe that's greater than I am. I know that it lives and moves and has its being all through creation. It is the one absolute self-existing cause, that which is back of all things. And I know that I can use it. And I know that everyone within the sound of my voice, right here and right now, is a divine, individualized incarnation of this divine spirit. I know that Reverend David is filled with this power and presence and is already healing in every way. I know that Siamara is filled with this divine presence and is healing right here and right now. And if there's anyone in your life that is in need of divine healing, hold their name in your mind, say their name in your mind, and we know that everything is connected in the one mind, one power, one source. And for this, I am so grateful. I am grateful that there's a power in this universe that hears me, and it hears me always. I release this into the law, knowing that it is not I, but it is the Spirit of the living God that always does the work. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Please join us down in the fellowship hall.
Yes. Wow, that was fabulous. So we're going to share a song, and then we'll all go to lunch together. We have some food down there. We hope you'll stay and enjoy some food and fellowship with us. And also, if you have questions about something like this and related to, as Reverend Jean said, meet with a practitioner. Say, I need you to shed some light on this, and you can talk with someone. And please don't leave without saying hello to someone. There you go. Come on now. Let's sing together. This is our closing song. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. Yes, we do. Come on and smile with me. Vision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. We see all people, all beings as expressions of God. We see a world that works for everyone. We see a world that works for everyone. Yes, we do. We see a world that works for everyone. Everyone. Have a great afternoon, everybody.